You are now listening to the Highly Evolved Podcast. You can find this channel on Twitter, Gab.ai, BitChute, and Minds.com. This is a Real American Patriot channel for Real American Patriots. If you're not a Real American Patriot, please exit the channel. Furthermore, we are not sponsored by any outside interference. That means we're unscripted, unrehearsed, and unedited. With that being said, transmission will commence momentarily.
Thank you for joining the Highly Evolved Podcast. My name is Stefan. You can find me at Minds.com, BitChute, Twitter, and Gab.com. Most importantly, like, share, subscribe on YouTube because we're writing this until the wheel fall off. On that note, guys, let's start the show. In this episode, I want to report the story from Breitbart News about what's going on in Europe. We don't just discuss about politics in America. We discuss world politics as well. But on this note, let me show you this article about what's happening in Europe, especially in Greek. All right. Greece, let me say that, not Greek. Greece, all right. Greek votes in national election. Leftists expect to lose power. All right, these leftist people, these globalists, leftist, socialist people are expected to lose power, guys. It's the idea is changing within Europe. That's the point. It's very changing. Democrats is It's very surprising that people are finally starting to wake up. That's what this signified as. People are waking up. The leftist ideology are not beneficials. They're not. All right? Let's read this. Greek voters will cast their ballots on Sunday in the country's first national election for the post-ballot era. The leftist Prime Minister Alex Tsipras Syriza party expected to be ousted by the conservative opposition. You know what happened in Greek? Kids, women are selling their body for the price of a cheese sandwich. That's how broke Europe is, right? For the price of a cheese sandwich, they're willing to have sex with you. All right? That's how bad the Greek economy is. That's how bad. People don't realize how bad it is. Really bad in Greek. This is what persuades them to change leftist mindset to a conservative one. All right? People are getting fed up and tired of this leftist ideology. They're changing. The ideology is changing. That's what's important. All right? After nearly 5 years of power, 5 years of power, and he got out yet? Oh my God. People are selling sex for the price of a cheese sandwich, €2. Greek largest serving crisis premier, as well as the youngest in more than a century, is battling a overcome of 10 points deficit in opinion poll amid widespread dissatisfaction after years of high taxation. Exactly. Look what that's basically the leftist policies tax you to death. All right. The economy is not good at Greek right now. This is why the people are fed up. As a ratio of new option poll predicted a clear victory for the conservative New Democracy Party. I can't pronounce his name, man. Tsipras? I know you pick the T and S sounds the S. Tsipras, right? Tsipras has vowed that he can make the largest comeback of modern Greek in history. The Greek people must not only vote, they must avert a theft of their sacrifice, a great crime against future generations, a 44-year-old premier told the crowd in Athens on Friday, right? But the poll, there's a lot of, when you look at Greek policy, there's a lot of mismanaging money, right? A lot of mismanaging money. Right, like 2000, they had the Greek Olympics, right? When you look back at the Greek, Colosseum, when they had the Olympics there, it's all demolished. And it's just recently built. Now when you look at it, it's all demolished. There's a picture online that's showing that too, right? And the Olympic was just there too, right? The Greek people must not only vote, they must revert from their okay, wait, I read that. But the poll have constantly focused their New Democracy ahead by Kyriskos Mitsotakis, a former banker and scion of the leading Greek political family, will win an absolute majority on Sunday legislative elections. According to the latest poll, New Democracy is expected to gain between 151 to 165 seats in a 300-seat parliament. Syriza, meanwhile, is forecast to fall from 144 seats between 70 to 82. Tsipras called the snap decision in June after losing both European and local elections to Mitsotakis, New Democracy in the space of 2 years. Greek new prime minister. The man tipped it to be Greek next prime minister is a 51-year-old Harvard graduate and a McKinsey consultant with controversial civil service job. Controversial, so you don't know how good he. Look, he's a Harvard graduate. Harvard graduate is CIA. All right, I'm not saying all of them, but most of them are. So you gotta be on heels. And he's a controversial civil service job cut on his resume. All right, so he cut jobs. What the hell? Job cuts on, I don't know, man. Leave that on your own device, right? Mitsotakis, who took over in New Democracy 3 years ago, has pledged to create better jobs through growth, foreign investment, and tax cut, and streamroll obstacle to business. Tsipras has accused Mitsotakis, who was part of the 2012-2014 current crisis. Oh wow! So this guy is the reason why the Greek economy collapsed. The government crisis of disastrous mismanagement brought hundreds of thousands of jobs losses and business failures. So he was a part of it. The Greek premier has also touted his party track records in reducing unemployment and raising the minimum wage for the first time since 2012. His government also rolled out a batch of last-minute tax cut in May, but the majority of the electorate seem unmoved. Tsipras has been widely criticized for campaigning as an anti-austerity crusader before eventually accepting the third EU ballot. Austerity. I can pronounce it. Well, you guys can pronounce it. Christos Moravales, who cast his ballot for the once radical leftists in 2015. Wow. He cast his ballot for a radical leftist. Said many voters will be seeking to punish Syrizas for betraying the Greek people with false promises. Of course, if you make false promises, people will find your BS. All right, we'll call out your BS. The vote will be Greek third poll in many months and the country's first midsummer general election since 1928. Unlikely to set a participation records. In May, fewer than 59% of registered voters cast ballot for European parliaments. Polled the first round of local and regional election. Participation fell below 42% for the second round of the week later. With the temperature forecast to go and higher as 90 degrees Celsius, which is 102 degrees Fahrenheit, that's a high heat wave. On Sunday, all parties dread the impact of heat and will have to have no turnout. Quote, tomorrow it will be probably sunny, but there will be election for sure. Come vote. New Democracy tweeted on Sunday. The front page of the Petro Thermo newspaper on Saturday shows a cartoon of a man catching some sun and on a inflatable mattress. Enjoy your vacation. Let others decide if you would be able to go on vacation again. On the front page, exactly. So you have to go vote. Voting is important. I hate this notion that people, my vote doesn't matter. What can my vote do? Your vote can be make or break. People have this notion that people are not elected, they're selected. How you know for sure? All right. Then why is the 2016 election was so argued? Right? Why election meddling was so important? Then why election fraud is so important if voting doesn't matter? Explain that. Why people are fighting tooth and nail to vote? Why are people fighting tooth and nail for representation without taxation? If your vote doesn't matter, vote matters. All right. This notion that people are selected and not elected is, to me, in my view, is ridiculous in a way, because there's no evidence proving that your vote doesn't matter. Right? It does matter, and why people are dying just to vote for it. Right? People will say, "Oh, it's all these Illuminatis and all that stuff. It's all picked it." Yeah, it's all picked it, but that's within the background. I want to see in the foreground. If you could find the evidence that voting is rigged, let me see that. All right. Not unless I see the evidence with my face, then I'll come to that conclusions. All right, where am I at? Serial number of seats in the next parliament is expected to depend on how many of the smaller peace party secure at least 3% of the votes, and the minimum requirement of inter-parliament. Two new arrivals in the Mera 25 anti-austerity party, the SUBCRIBE, a former Maverick finance minister, Yarnes Vertaskakis, I can't pronounce that, the Greek Solutions, and the nationalist pro-Russian party, former journalist and TV salesman of Akarikoskas Velopoulos. I can't pronounce that Greek, man. Greek words is, man, I'm sorry if I butchered his names. I try to pronounce people's name as to my best ability. I'm sorry. I did have a public education. This is the price of a public education. All right. Poll shows each new party could win between a 9 to 10 PMs. Greek solution has been buoyant by backlash against the Tsipras controversial agreement with the North Macedonia, which is Greek, that ended in a bitter 27-year dispute over the country name. Right? Who is the real Greek? That's the biggest dispute. Who's more Greek, Macedonia or Greek? The fledgling party has also picked up voters from a neo-Nazi party, Golden Dawn, which is a steep decline amid of ongoing trial of 2013 murders and anti-fascist rappers allegedly carrying out the knowledge of senior Golden Dawn members. And that's the end of the article. So this is what happened in Greece right now. They're about to vote on their next election to vote out, and it's projected that the leftists will be out of power. All right, this is what I'm keep telling you guys. All right, we cannot have these leftists in power. These leftists, because of their leftist policy, are the root of what's wrong with the situation in each country. All right, leftist policy is group thinking. It's communism. All right. And it's obviously the Greek people are fed up with this leftist policy. They've been living with leftist policy since 2012, since they had their collapses and devalued their money, all right? And the European Union's not helping them at all, all right? This is why they want to get out the Union, all right, and let them have their own economy, all right? People are selling sex for the price of a cheese sandwich, all right? It's crazy. It's nothing to be laughed at. I'm sorry, but it's force of habit. But it tells you, it's foreshadowing to you guys, all right? This is what might happen to you if you keep following the leftist ideology, all right? Now, I'm saying I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm American independent, all right? I have conservative views, but just because you're conservative, that doesn't mean you're Republican, all right? But yet again, the Republicans are not as crazy as these leftists. Sure, there are rhinos, but most Republicans have common sense. All right, sure, some of them are corrupt, but the majority of them are not that extreme like the leftists. The leftists is way extreme. The leftists is corrupt. All right, and they will break your country. That's what the point. That's why I'm advocating not to be a leftist. All right, don't be a liberal. All right, don't be far too left that you don't know what's happening in the country. You're closed-minded. All right, the leftists like to say, "Oh, we're the party of open-minded." If you're open-minded, why are you silencing people having an opinion? If you're so open-minded, why are you so emotional with people's opinion? If you're so open-minded, why can't you understand that people might be a little conservative? All right, when open-minded will understand why people conservative, huh? Would they understand the issue? No. All right, leftists are basically fractured mind people with mental disorder. That's what a leftist is. All right. But anyway, let me know what you think. Please leave a comment below. You think people's perspective is changing about leftist policy? You think people are less inclined to be a liberal? You think it's benefit to be a liberal? You think it's benefit to be a leftist? Let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. All right, because of one thing, YouTube don't want to monetize my channel. Because I'm not monetized, I'm free to say what I want. All right, I'm unscripted, I'm unrehearsed, and unedited. All right. But if you like what I'm doing, please like, share, and subscribe. Because when you like, share, and subscribe, it encourages me more videos. When I make more videos, I saturate YouTube algorithm. When I saturate YouTube algorithm, it will make my video more expansive to a broader audience. Within those broader audience, I might enlighten them to think for themselves. Because the point of this channel, the mission statement of this channel, is to get people to not think in the group like leftists, right? If I'm able to captivate people to think for themselves, I achieve my mission, right? Because of that, I'm not taking any donations. Because the point of this channel is to get people to think for themselves and not be a group thinker, all right? If you like what I do, please like, share, subscribe. It really helps a lot. Because group thinking will kill you. Group thinking is Marxist, socialism, and communism. And look where they're at right now. They're falling apart, all right? They're group thinkers. Look at the leftist party. They're falling apart. They're group thinkers. Look at the Democrat Party. They're fighting each other. They're falling apart because they're group thinkers. All right? Look at Antifa. They're falling apart. They're group thinkers. Look at BLM. They're falling apart. They're group thinkers. Group thinkers account for 90 million deaths within the last centuries. This is why it's so important for me to change people's perspective and not be a group thinker. They don't have to think the same as I do. All right? They don't have to agree with me on everything. At least think for yourself. But on that note, guys, let me know what you agree. Leave a comment below. This is the HighlyEvolvedPodcast. My name is Stefan. I know your time is very precious. I try not to waste your time. And on that note, guys, you guys have a good day. Peace.